ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه ومن اتبع هداه إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Brothers and sisters in Islam, in this session inshallah we are going to discuss in detail the performance of Taraweeh prayer in Jama'ah, in congregation. And we are going to go through the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. An-Nu'man ibn Bashir narrated, may Allah be pleased with him, he said, we stood in prayer with Allah's Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam on the 23rd night of Ramadan, up to the first third of the night. Then we stood with him on the 25th night, up to the middle of the night. Then he led us on the 27th night for so long that we feared missing the falah. We used to call suhoor falah. This hadith is authentic hadith, sahih. It is reported by Ibn Abi Shaybah in his Musannaf, and Imam Nasa'i in his Sunan, and Imam Ahmad in his Musnad, and Imam Al-Hakeem in the Mustadrak. So the hadith is authentic hadith. And from this hadith it's very clear that the Prophet ﷺ, he led the Sahaba, the Taraweeh prayer in congregation. So this hadith refutes whoever says that the performance of the congregational prayer is not sunnah. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he prayed the Taraweeh prayer. And he did this for 3 consecutive nights. The Prophet ﷺ, he prayed the Taraweeh for 3 successive nights. And each night the number was increasing. The number was increasing. So much so that the Prophet ﷺ feared that it might be imposed, that Allah might prescribe it, Allah might make it obligatory upon the Muslims. For that reason, after 3 nights he didn't come out to pray. He stayed in his house. And the companions, they waited and waited, hoping that he would come out of his house and lead them. So the second day in the morning, he said, after he prayed the Fajr and he addressed the Sahaba, he said, O people, by Allah, and all praise is due to Him, I was not unaware of your presence. I know. And I knew that you were waiting for me. Because they were waiting in the masjid. He said, I knew that you were waiting for me to lead you in the salah, for Taraweeh prayer. But I only feared that the night prayer, the qiyam, would become an obligation for you, which you would be incapable of fulfilling. So commit only to the deed that you would be capable of performing, because Allah would not tire from a deed of yours until you tire. And this hadith, as I said, it is in also in Bukhari, Muslim, Abu Dawud, Nasa'i. That's another narration of Imam Zuhri, and the previous narration in Musnad Imam Ahmad and Mustadrak Al-Hakim. So you can deduce from these 2 hadiths that the performance of Taraweeh was done at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. And we should know that the ruling regarding the Taraweeh prayer, it is sunnah. It is sunnah. If one doesn't pray Taraweeh, he is not sinful. He is not sinful. Because what is obligatory is only the 5 prayers. That's it. Anything else, it is sunnah. So one who doesn't pray Taraweeh, he is not committing a sin, but of course he is losing. Okay? It is the reward, as we are going to know, performing Taraweeh is so great. It's so great. So if you miss that Taraweeh, you are losing something. But that will not make you a sinner. It is not a sin if you don't pray the Taraweeh. So we should understand, first of all, for every Muslim and Muslimah, that the ruling regarding Taraweeh, it is sunnah. It is sunnah. And the reason the Prophet ﷺ did not carry on the fear that it might become obligatory, fard, and then the Muslim would not be able to do that. As you know, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the beginning He imposed the prayers. There were 50 in number, right? Then Musa alayhi salam told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I have tried my followers, the Bani Israel, and they failed. So please ask your Lord to reduce. And Allah reduced the number from 50 to 5 prayers. And the reward is the reward of 50 prayers. And nevertheless, you find many Muslims, they don't pray the 5 prayers. Imagine if there are 50 prayers. Now many Muslims, 5 prayers they don't pray. And we know that the one who doesn't pray, he is not a Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ made it very clear. He said, إِنَّ الْعَهْدَ الَّذِي بَيْنَنَا وَبَيْنَهُمُ الصَّلَاةِ فَمَنْ تَرَكَهَا فَقَدْ كَفَرَ. The one who doesn't pray, he is not a Muslim. The dividing line between Islam and apostasy is the prayer. So the Prophet ﷺ, out of fear, he did not pray after 3 nights. And this situation remained like that. And even during the reign and the caliphate of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, they didn't pray it again in congregational behind one imam. The situation remained like that. And even part of the caliphate of Umar, radiyallahu anhum ajma'in, it remained like that. Then only, as we're going to know, during the caliphate of Umar, he brought them back and asked Ubay ibn Ka'b to lead them again. So how to perform the Taraweeh prayer? There are many ways the Prophet ﷺ performed the Taraweeh prayer or the Tahajjud or the Qiyam, as we know now. They are all different names for the same thing. The first manner, it consists of 13 rak'ah. 13 rak'ah, which is commenced with 2 short rak'ahs. So 2, then 2s, until you conclude 13. The second manner consists of 13 rak'ah. That means 2 and plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is 8. 8 rak'ahs. Then you pray 5. You pray what? 5. One go. So 8, 2s, and then 5 rak'ahs, one go. So that's 13. Maybe this is new for many of you, but this is what the Prophet ﷺ did. So if, for instance, you find an imam who adopted one of these methods, don't be surprised. That is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. The third manner consists of 11 rak'ah, in which one makes taslim after every 2 rak'ah, and then prays witr at the end with 1 rak'ah. So this is 11 rak'ah, so we know, and this is what people know now. This is the common, because certain sunnahs, they have been neglected, so people, they don't know that. So the only one they know, it is 11 rak'ah, so 2, 2, 2, 2, 10, then 1, or 3. That is what is people, they understand. The rest, different manners, they don't understand. The fourth manner consists of 11 rak'ah, 11 rak'ahs, in which one prays 4 rak'ah and makes 1 taslim. So 4 with 1 taslim. Then another 4 with 1 taslim, then 3. Then 3. The fifth manner consists of 11 rak'ah, in which one prays 8 rak'ah and does not sit in any of them except for the 8th rak'ah. So 8 continuously. 8 rak'ahs continuously. While sitting in the 8th rak'ah, he makes the tashahhud and sends salah upon the Prophet ﷺ, and then stands up again without making the taslim. Then he makes witr with 1 rak'ah. So 8 continuously. After the 8th, he would sit down, make tashahhud, then he would also get up and pray 1 rak'ah. So the total now is 9. And then after that, he would pray 2 rak'ah while he is sitting. While he is sitting. And the 6th manner, one prays 9 rak'ahs, in which he does not sit except after the 6th rak'ah. And the previous one after the 8th, here after the 6th rak'ah. Then he makes the tashahhud and send the salam upon the Prophet ﷺ without making the taslim. Then he makes witr with 3 rak'ahs. So now it will make it 9. And then he will make the taslim, then he would pray 2. and that is 11. So these are various forms that the Prophet ﷺ prayed the night prayer or the tahajjud or the tarawih. The excellence of the tarawih, the excellence and the merit and the virtue of tarawih. That's why we should not miss it. Listen to this hadith which is in Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba, Sunan Abu Dawood, Sunan Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, Musnad Imam Ahmad, Mushkil Athar al-Tahawi. It is authentic hadith. The hadith says, إنه من قام مع الإمام حتى ينصرف كتب له قيام ليلة. كتب له قيام ليلة. Whoever stands in prayer with the Imam until the Imam concludes the prayer, it is recorded for him that he prayed the whole night. That he prayed the whole night. Who can pray the whole night? No one. But if you pray the Taraweeh behind the Imam and you wait until he prays the witr, you can't be found, for instance, some Muslims, they would come out and pray the witr later at night. No, don't do that. Pray the witr with the Imam so that you will get this reward mentioned in the hadith. Because if you come out from the salah before the Imam concludes the salah, you didn't pray for him until he finished. So this hadith cannot be applied to you. So if you want to get the reward which is mentioned in this hadith, wait until the Imam finishes and concludes the salah, and you pray the witr with the Imam. Some might raise the question, but you know, the Prophet ﷺ said the best thing that you leave the witr towards the end of the night. So that's why I find some Muslims, he will come out and he would not pray the witr. Yes, that is true, but in Ramadan it is different. In Ramadan it is different. In Ramadan you pray behind the Imam until he finishes. Let's say that he wants to pray after the witr later on at night. What should he do? He can pray, no problem. But he should not pray the witr twice. He should not pray the witr twice. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, La witran fi layla. No two witrs on the same night. You can pray any more rak'ahs, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you with, but you don't pray the witr again. So we should now try to pray the witr with our Imam. So we stand behind the Imam until he finishes the salah. Okay. Umar radiallahu anhu, he is the one who revived this sunnah. Because there is a problem with some Muslims. They are saying, and they are actually saying that Umar is the one who invented the Taraweeh. Taraweeh is not sunnah, which is not true, as we knew. The Taraweeh is sunnah, the Prophet ﷺ, he prayed it. Umar, he just took the Muslim back to the sunnah. He revived this sunnah. He revived the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay? And because Umar, he looked to the reason and he analyzed the reason. Why didn't the Prophet ﷺ pray? Because he was afraid it might become obligatory. But now, is there any chance for the Taraweeh to become obligatory? Impossible. Impossible. There's no chance. Why? Because the wahi has stopped. So the fear is not there. So that's why what he did. And in the hadith which is in Muwatta Imam Malik, what Umar did. Umar, he put the Muslim and he brought them together and he assembled them behind Ubay ibn Ka'b and Tamim al-Dari, and he commanded them to pray 11 rak'ahs. This is what Umar did. And this hadith is in Muwatta Imam Malik, and it is authentic hadith. The narration that says 20 rak'ahs is weak narration. It is weak narration. So Umar here, what he did, he asked the Muslims to pray 11 rak'ahs behind Ubay ibn Ka'b and Tamim al-Dari according to the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. But the question now, if one prayed more than 11 rak'ah, is he committing a sin? Huh? The answer, no, he's not committing a sin. And it is not an innovation, and it's not a bid'ah. But of course, what Muslims have agreed upon unanimously, that the best thing, 11 rak'ahs. As Aisha mentioned in Bukhari, the Prophet ﷺ never exceeded in his lifetime more than 11 rak'ahs. So the best guidance is the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ. Women also, they can attend the jama'ah. Women, they can attend the jama'ah. Ali radiallahu anhu, and this hadith is in Bayhaqi and Musannaf Abd al-Razzaq, commanded the people to pray Qiyam during Ramadan, and he appointed two Imams. He appointed two Imams. One for the men and one for the women. And one for the women. So women, they can attend the congregational prayer, and we should not stop them from attending congregational prayer. May Allah increase our knowledge in His deen, and may Allah accept our deeds and your deeds. And now, inshallah, we are going to open the floor for questions. So if you have any question, don't feel hesitant to raise it.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You said that one who does not perform the Taraweeh prayer is not a sinner. But at the same time, I see him one who neglects doing something related to the Sunnah of the Prophet. Would you please make some balance between this?
All right. See, the rulings in Islam are 5 rulings. The rulings in Islam are 5. The halal, which is the lawful or permissible. The haram, which is the prohibited. And the fard, which is obligatory. And the sunnah, which is the recommended. And the makruh, which is disliked. So these are the 5 rulings in the Sharia. So when we say it is sunnah regarding, according to the definition of the jurist, we mean that he is not sinful. But of course he is losing a lot of reward. Okay? And we are encouraging all Muslims to love the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ and to practice the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So we need to balance, and the Prophet ﷺ, the only way that you can manifest and you can show your love of the Prophet ﷺ is to follow his sunnah. I'm sure now if I ask any one of you, do you love the Prophet ﷺ? He said, of course I love him, right? Do you love the Prophet ﷺ? Of course, yes. Okay, so if you want, I say, prove it to me now. Prove it to me that you love the Prophet ﷺ. You have to follow his sunnah, because that's what Allah said in the book. The Prophet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَمَا آتَاكُمَ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوا وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Whatever he gives you, take it. And whatever he forbids you, abstain from it. So you need, and not only that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهُ. So if you love Allah, then follow me, and Allah will love you. So the acid test or the touchstone is what? The fellowship of the Prophet ﷺ. So Muslims should love the Prophet ﷺ and should follow his sunnah. Next question, please.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear Sheikh, can I perform Taraweeh prayer at home, or is it a must to witness it along with Muslims at the mosque?
This is a good question. Umar himself, the one who assembled the Sahaba behind, and he commanded them to pray behind Ubay and Tamim, he didn't pray with them. He prayed at home. He didn't pray with them. He prayed at home, Umar. So this shows that the flexibility or the room is there. But of course, the best thing that you pray behind the Imam, because of the hadith that we mentioned. It would be written for you that you prayed the whole night. Next question.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear Sheikh, in a Taraweeh prayer, do I have to recite Quran from memory, or can I recite it from the Mus'haf?
Okay. First of all, reading the Quran from the Mus'haf or putting the Mus'haf, it's not the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. There's only one narration that the servant of Aisha used to read from the Mus'haf. So, if there is a need, if there is a necessity, only the Imam should do that. We can put a Mus'haf, big Mus'haf, for the Imam who can read. The rest behind him should not open the Mus'haf and follow him, as you see that many Muslims, everyone is carrying the Mus'haf in Ramadan. We should not do that. We have to concentrate and listen attentively and follow even if you don't memorize the Quran, you can keep repeating what you memorize. There is nothing wrong if you repeat the same surah, if you repeat the same ayah. You know that the Prophet ﷺ, one night, he spent the whole night repeating one ayah. And inshallah, throughout the sessions, we are going, inshallah, to learn our deen more and more, inshallah. And may Allah accept our deeds and your deeds. And may Allah also increase our knowledge in His deen. Until we see you, inshallah, in the next session. You pray for me, I pray for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.